So a couple weeks ago, I created the Batman detective design illustration, or would we say mascot logo, in Figma during the live section. And a couple of you have asked that I bring this as a live tutorial because it wasn't recorded during the section. So this is what we'll be doing today. I'll be showing you how to create this using just the pen tool, and we'll see how we can draft out the illustration itself and the text using the pen tool. Without any further delay, let's get right into it. So the first thing here is for you guys to identify which of them is real. So if you said A, then let me know in the comment section. If you said B, let me know in the comment section. And the answer is B. All right. So boy, if you initially said A, don't cheat. All right. Let's get into it. All right. So I'd bring in the screenshots, which is this, and let's zoom into that. All right, so all I have to do now is to lock this. So you would want to lock this. I'm going to right click, put it in a frame. So frame selection. Now it's in a frame. You can see the title up here, and I'm just going to type Batman. All right, Spider-Man. How's that song again? All right, so let's continue. So we have this in a frame now. We're just going to give the frame a color, so I'll just give it white. All right, FFF is a white. So if I hold Control and select this, I can move this. It's just there. All right, let's clip this content so that once we move it, it doesn't move out of the frame. All right, that is perfect. Now we're going to lock the Batman initial illustration. We're first going to drop the opacity. So let's drop the opacity to, let's say, 20 to 40%. All right, I think this is perfect for my eyes, and I will lock it over here. So this is all we need to do, and then just grab the pen tool. You can grab it up here, pen, or you can press P on your keyboard, which I love to do, and you can grab it. Now we can now start drawing. And to draw this, we're going to draw it in two ways. One is rounding the radius, and the other way is the native way where you click and drag to create a curve. So a little bit of example here. You click one click, you click on the next point where you want it to be, and then you drag without leaving your mouse. Now ensure you're using a mouse for this, guys. Don't use a mouse trackpad. All right, so that's how you can do it. Another way, like I said, is to curve this. Now if we zoom into this, you're going to see this is end to end. It's locked now, so all you have to do is, it's going to be on this pen over here at the top. Just go back to the first one, which is move, or press V on your keyboard and you take it there. Now you can select this node from outside. Now mind you, if you try to do it from inside, in some cases you may just be dragging this and that won't be good. But because we have limited points, you can just drag over one and just round it over here. You can see this radius, corner radius, so you can drag it and you're going to have this. So you see, you can round things without having to do so much. So with that illustrated, let's get back to business. All right, so first thing, your pen tool, we can zoom in, click, and for this we're going to click and drag. All right, so you can click from that point. Remember to know where the points are. All right, it's based on you. All right, your discretion. So whatever you feel is where the point is, if you feel like it's there, that's fine by you, as long as you can get your illustrations done. You can use this method for any illustration at all. It works for everything. So what I'm going to do is basically come over here, I'll zoom out a bit, click here, this point, and I'll drag it out. Now the first thing you'll be doing on this illustration is to get out the base. Now every illustration has a base color or a base. Now the base is what we're going to be drawing, which is this outer layer going across all of this. It's what would house all of it. So you know, in order for you to have property, you need to have a house. So that's basically what we're doing. We're building the house or the foundation, and then we will come back to add the properties. All right, so that's what we're doing. You click here. All right, you can see that line has shown, telling you that it's straight, and you can curve it. You can come back to hold one of these nodes to extend it, and when you do this, the dots or pen tool will be off. It's not going to be there anymore. All you have to do is just go back to where you stopped, click on it, and continue. All right, so that's what I'm doing. You can see I'm using that line as a guide for where I stopped. So you can see the line going there, but it's the top one, which is this one, that I want to put the angle at. So we have this, and then you can drag, click and drag, basically click and drag. All right, click here. Anytime you click and drag, don't continue doing that, even though you're going to have something messy like this. Right, so once you click and drag, anytime you click and drag, you can come back to the last point, click on it, and it will deselect it so you can continue the motion. But if you drew a straight line, then you don't need to come back and click at the top. Right, so that's what you need to do to activate it for you to have something straight again. So with that, I would use that method to run through the design. Right, you're just going to see it. I'm not going to fast forward it, so it's just click. All right, we're going to click here. We'll put a straight line here. For this one, you can either do this at this point and have the curve, but sometimes it might not be that good. So what I did was put a point here. Sorry about that. Put a point here and drag it. So once you drag that, you can have this guy. All right, who's your guy? All right, click here and continue the same thing. Don't worry, we're going to clean up all of this very soon. All right, with that, we drag that way too far, so just slightly drag it. So let's put it over here, and yeah, over there, over there. You can see I'm using this line, this red line showing, so that I can know if I'm on the right path. Right, and that is it. We've gotten our base. Click here and drag it out, and yeah, we're done with our base. All right, so the next thing for us, you can see the line here. So the next thing is to do the inner part. Now for this part, we're going to be creating it with the Batman's wing. All right, so we're going to draw it with the Batman's wing, not doing so much. So I'm going to click, come here. We're not going to like do the font, we're just going to do everything together, and we're going to do it in one. So same thing, click, let's zoom into here. All right, in order to maintain something straight, we would have to work with that line. You see the red line? All right, see it showing the other way. So we're going to stop this one here. This one is now going to be the base for the rest of it. Now for this one, we're going to use the other method I showed you, where you click to create a straight line, and then you can curve it, curve the radius. So we're going to leave it for now. We'll come back to it. Let's continue our motion. Right, and somewhere here, here, come back here, here, over here. All right. Here, I'm using the red line as a guide, and I'm making little adjustments to the initial design. Right, so we have this somewhere around here. Should be perfect. Yeah, cool. So yeah, and now you want to curve this, so we're going to curve this way, that way. Right, something like that. Come back here, place it here, over here, and I'm going to place one here, one here. We're going to curve all of these things, so you're going to see how we bring this to life. So let's run through this so I don't take much of your time. Right, curve this guy. It's supposed to end here, so I just click here, come back here, just curve it a bit. We're going to come back and clean up all of this, so it's going to look really cool. Let's zoom into that straight line, curve that guy, come back here, click. Remember what I said about curves, right? Click there, come here, click, and then we're almost done. All right, so we're going to curve this guy, curve this other guy. You know, let's do that separately, and finish it up here. Now, shout out to whoever created this piece. All right, so what I'm just doing is recreating, or would I say redesign? So I'm just recreating it. All right. So with that, still in that mode, I won't click done. I'm going to finish up these other internal lines that creates the negative space for the design, and I'm doing it this way because I want it to still flow with the line. You can see the red line showing, so I want it to still flow with the line. So that's what I'm currently doing. Right, so let's do that real quick. So we're back here, and now it's time to round those corners, like for the A and for other elements in this top part. So all we need to do is don't click done. All right, if you click done, don't worry, you can still come back and click on edit object. So just click on edit object and you can go back. So to round those corners, we need it to be on move. That's V as a shortcut, and then we can now go in there and round those corners. So select this by dragging, like, you know, drawing something. So draw and cover that node. You see this dot over here, we call it a node. So this node is where you can make adjustments to whatever you want to do, like moving it or rounding that radius. You can also hold control and you're going to have something like this. All right, but that's not what we're aiming for. So come over here and just round it. All right, do the same for this other part. So I'm using 10 for this part. You can use whatever you want to use. Now I'm going to adjust this guy, so I want to make him look this way. I'll do the same for this part. And this is another A, so let's type in 10, and this part should be like 8. Okay, let's use the same 10 to keep things consistent. Let's use 12, 13. All right, now yeah, that's it. That's more like it. So this is slanted, this should be slanted as well, a little bit out and slanted. Right, so there are some points that were not really cool. You can see this guy. I'm going to select him, just move him upward a bit, and then select him and just round it. It's going to be smooth. All right? It's smooth. All right, this other guy, select him and just round him slightly. Yeah, cool curve. Wow, David White, that's so curvy. You can use the pen tool so well. I'm just rounding the radius. All right, so round that, round that, round that. All right, you can do the same for these guys. Slightly by 2, this one by 1, and you know what? You already get the concept of it. All right, let's do the same for this guy over here. You can round it to whatever number you want to. I like rounding it up to the end. Right, and I think that's pretty much it. So let's just adjust this guys inside the bits, and we're done with the top. All right, so we're going to do the same thing for the down. All right, so you could just watch as we do that. So I'm just going to press done. I'll leave it and let's go straight into this other part. Alright, so we're done with that. We're going to cover it later. Let's do the comics. Alright. So in the comics, I know the S is like an issue for many. Many people might have an issue creating the X. So you should actually try this after this tutorial. I'd love to see what you guys create. So once you do that, you can tag me up and I'll be happy to see what you guys create. All right, so let's have this. We're going to do the same for the inside. It's a bit blurry now, pixelated. So I will just do it whichever way I feel is ideal. You know what, I'll just extend this to the end. Move it up a bit. Put it over here. Down. Let's do this. Right. This would be the easiest one. So this is how I do my tasks. I like to start my tasks by doing the simpler things first. And once you do the simpler things, you have energy to keep going. Once you do the hard stuff, you're going to run out of that energy. So you can steal my method. It's not really new. It's out there already. People know this. So try to always start your daily tasks by doing the harder stuff. So this is the S, and you're going to see how we're going to turn this S to what it's supposed to be. So take it in here, and we're done. We're actually done with everything. It's time to curve it and then move to the color. So click on move or V as usual. You can now select this part and round it gradually. Do the same for this part as well. Round that guy, and I have 24 for mine. Obviously you won't have the same, so you can round this. I'm going to do the same for the top. Round that guy. So let's start from this area. Select these two guys, curve them. Yeah, so you see that very smooth and lovely curve. I'm going to do the same for this guy, and that guy is curved. Alright, we've done the C. We don't need this for this. We're going to do this for this. I extended it so that when you curve it, it would curve within its axis, so you can see what we have there. So do the top. Alright, yep, that's it. Let's do for this other guy something like 3. Yeah, it should work. And let me see if this other guy has. Alright, so I'll just put that at 1. This at 1 as well, and this at 2. Oh, it has small curves, so I'm using 12 for that. I'm going to select this, and nah, that's not what I was aiming at doing. So I'll just, just put this something like this and move this other one. These are called handles. They help you adjust whatever left or right. Practice is everything, so the more you practice, the more you would get it done easily with time. So I'm just going to curve this one like this. I like it. Move this one. You can double click or click on that stuff if you happen to click out of it. Yep, so select this and move this guy like this. Like I said, who is your guy? So move this. My guys are plenty. Let me not mention their names for someone who said not mention his name. Alright, so let's extend this one. Just ensure you have people. It's very necessary for your journey. You need people. I think I'll extend this one as well, something like this, to flow with this angle. Alright, not pretty much what they the original creators were going for, but I'm just doing like a small redesign to it. Yeah, we're done with that. Let's go over to the S. I like to start it with the S, so let's curve this a bit, something like that. We'll do the same for this. I'm using 5, right? And yeah, we can do the same for this. This is 3. Let me use 2, and I'll do the same for this. I think 2 as well. 3. This one, let's use 4. This part, we're going to curve it. Alright, that is cool. Right, that is also cool. Let me see if it was curved. It wasn't. Right, we can move to the other one. So I'll just leave this comic the way it was. And I think we had like a little curve here and there. So let's see what we can do. Right, with the inner ones as well. 1. And I'll do the same for this inner one, just curve it. And I'm just going to curve this one that way and this way as well. And yeah, the C. So select both ends and curve it. Alright, that means we'll have to do it for this one as well. Alright, something like this. That's cool. Extend this a bit. Alright, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We're done. Alright, next thing is to give it a color. Alright, and all we have to do now is unlock the background. So we're going to unlock the background so that I can duplicate that background, make it smaller so that I can get out the color, because I don't know the colors. 111. So we're going to use the eyedropper tool. Send this to the back. We'll start with what is on top, not what is under. Alright, so we're going to start with the top. So the first one is this. I'll give it a color. That's and then I'm going to choose, the color is blue, so we're going to choose blue. Come over to this one. We'll give it a color too, and we're going to choose the color. This is the color. We're going to go back to edit, and for this edit we're going to select these 4 points and delete it. Pretty much did not work how I wanted it to, but you know what, we can fix that. So I'm going to duplicate this. Alright, I've duplicated. I was supposed to draw that separately, and doing that, go back to edit mode. I'm going to delete all these nodes here from the second one. I duplicated it, remember, so there's no cause for alarm. And I'm going to delete all these nodes as well for this one. Yep, and we're left with the middle one. Alright, we're going to give that a different color for now. Yep, that's it. And that's it. Select this shape, select that one, go up here to the boolean group, and we're going to choose subtract. It has subtracted it, so you can see we've used that shape to put a hole across. It's the same thing for this other uncle, for this one. So we'll just do the same thing, duplicate this, right, and this time I'm going to ungroup this, delete this guy, select this guy. I'm going to come over to this. Sorry, this is taking some time, and I'm going to do the same thing. Right, let's do this, delete this ones, this one, and this one, and this one. Alright, so same thing, choose that color, come over here. I know why it's doing that way, there's still some more here, delete that, click here, click the shape. Right, so this guy has to come in here, and he has duplicated that. Alright, with that, select the background, choose the color, close this out, and we are done. So just choose the black, and guys, that is how you can draw anything at all inside of Figma. I hope you've been able to get something from this, and if you have, I don't usually say this, but please like this video and subscribe, and I'll know that you really enjoy seeing this, and it would encourage me to bring out more of these tutorials. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.